Coming up on DITV News, celebrating Mollie Tibbets' life. Funeral arrangements have been announced for the UI student. Also, preliminary autopsy results for Mollie Tibbets have been released.
A former Iowa wrestler received sentencing for a hacking scandal.
And we caught up with students to see how they feel about Urban Meyer's suspension.
A few thunderstorms, cloudy skies, and hot temperatures. Find out more on weather.
All that and more coming up on this Friday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere. DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Susanna Kloster. Funeral arrangements have been made for Mollie Tibbets. Mollie, the University of Iowa student who went missing last month. Her remains were found in a cornfield early Tuesday morning. The funeral will take place on Sunday, August 26th at 2 p.m. in the gymnasium of Brooklyn, Guernsey, and Malcolm High School. All memorial contributions can be made to the University of Iowa's Dead Family Children's Hospital or mailed in care of the Smith Funeral Home. Anyone who is looking to attend is welcome. On Thursday, preliminary autopsy results were released regarding the UI student Mollie Tibbets. The results found that Tibbets died as a result of sharp force injuries. The medical examiner's office says that after further examination of her body, it may result in additional findings. Stick with DITV for updates. After Tibbets' death, politicians called for immigration action when they found that the suspect was an undocumented immigrant. Iowa GOP Senators Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst called to revisit 2016 legislation. For more on this, we have DI reporter Eliana Novich. Good morning, Eliana. What would this bill do if it was passed?
The bill was called Sarah's Law, and it would give the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement the power to take custody of an illegal immigrant who is charged with a crime resulting in the death or serious injury of another person.
And why was this legislation proposed in 2016?
Sarah's Law was proposed in 2016 in relation to a case that involved 21-year-old Sarah Root, who died as a result of an OWI accident in which an undocumented immigrant was the driver.
How far did the legislation make it in Congress?
The bill passed in the U.S. House in summer of 2017, but never gained traction in the Senate.
And are there any studies that show that undocumented immigrants commit a lot of violent crimes?
Despite narratives from the White House that claim illegal immigrants cause crime to increase, studies in the past few years, such as the ones from the Marshall Project and from libertarian think tank, the Cato Institute, show undocumented immigrants commit less crime than American-born citizens.
How was the suspect able to work in the U.S. for as long as he did?
It was reported by the Associated Press that the suspect was working under a false name on a dairy farm for years. He was vetted through the government's employment verification system.
Thank you, Eliana. For more information, be sure to visit daily-iowan.com. Yesterday, the University of Iowa sent out a campus-wide email notifying students and staff of losing an additional 3 undergraduate students. Matthew Bertel, Alec Pothoff, and Karen Whiting passed away over the summer. Their families have asked for privacy at this time. Support Options, the University of Iowa does offer resources for anyone who is looking for extra help. Well, we have been pretty lucky these past few days with sunshine, but let's toss over to John in the weather studio to see what our weekend weather looks like.
Thanks, Susanna. Now, I don't know what most people are planning on doing tonight. I know I'll be inside reading a book. But if you're planning on going out tonight, I suggest waiting until around 10 o'clock because starting this afternoon and carrying into the night, we will be experiencing some thunderstorms that will hopefully taper off at around that 10 o'clock mark. Let's take a look at our extended forecast. Tomorrow will be sunny with an afternoon high temperature of 89 degrees and at night a low temperature of 70 degrees. On Sunday, expect mostly cloudy skies with afternoon high temperatures in the upper 80s and overnight low temperatures in the mid 70s. Monday brings partly cloudy skies with hot afternoon high temperatures in the lower 90s and at night low temperatures in the lower 70s. Scattered thunderstorms on Tuesday with highs in the mid 80s and overnight lows in the upper 60s. Finally on Wednesday, expect partly cloudy skies with afternoon highs in the lower 80s and overnight lows in the mid 60s. As you can see, next week is going to be hot, so make sure to stay hydrated, jump in a pool, get a tan. Just do whatever you have to do to enjoy these temperatures. That's all I got. Guys, back to you.
Police have opened a sexual abuse investigation regarding a former Wyoming bishop. The Cheyenne Police Department said that they have information in the case that stemmed from his time in the diocese from the 1970s to the 1990s. Cheyenne Bishop Stephen Begler last month announced that Bishop Emeritus Joseph Hart had sexually abused 2 boys. Begler said that Hart consistently denied all allegations due to Hart's lawyers saying that they were not credible. Begler says he is confident that the new investigation will come to a similar conclusion. Facebook has taken down over 652 pages after discovering they were part of a coordinated disinformation campaign that originated in Iran. The pages were spreading misinformation in the United States, United Kingdom, Latin America, and Middle East. Facebook said that the campaign included 254 Facebook pages and 116 Instagram accounts that were followed by over 1 million followers. Those behind those pages said to have spent more than $12,000 on advertisements. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says that the company will continue to identify fake pages in order to make social networking safer. Next year, students in the Iowa City School District will have a new agriculture education program offered to them. They will have a chance to join Future Farmers of America branch. The school board voted 4-3 to establish the program. The FFA Association will have a presence at City High, West High, and Liberty High School. The school board is currently looking for an agriculture teacher for the spring semester. Students will be able to enroll in the program starting in the 2019-2020 school year. Nearby schools West Branch, Lone Tree, Clear Creek, Amana, and Mid Prairie already have FFA programs. Visit daily-iowan.com for more information. University of Iowa campus construction will return to normal in September with the lifting of a 5-month moratorium on construction projects. The State Board of Regents capital plan was unveiled in a meeting in June of 2017. The university planned to construct 3 buildings during the fiscal 2018 year: the Stanley Museum of Art, the Tippie College of Business, and the Entrepreneurial Center, and the Finkbein Golf Clubhouse. The cost of these buildings cost a combined $90.8 million. The moratorium was implemented April 12th to defer approximately $5.5 million from the General Education Fund. Yesterday, the University of Iowa held its first ever open forum to discuss the search for the new executive vice president and provost. A provost is a senior administrative officer in certain colleges and universities. University of Iowa's Staff Council and Senior Associate Director of Enrollment Management, John Laverty, and Faculty Senate President Russ Ganem led the discussion. The council was made up of undergraduate students, graduate and professional students, faculty, and staff. The main topics discussed in the forum were what the provost approach will be to the new budget model, the importance of shared governance, and the struggle with faculty retention. The next forum will be held on August 27th in the Iowa Theater of the Iowa Memorial Union. Just like that, the first week of school is over. For some Hawkeyes, they're still trying to find their classes. We went out to see how freshmen have been enjoying Iowa so far.
I mean, it's pretty good. Definitely a lot of homesickness right off the bat because I'm from Illinois, so it's kind of weird being in a different state. But the classes are pretty nice. The professors are super nice, very wanting to help me, so that was nice.
This week's classes were really nice, except it rained Monday, so it wasn't that much fun, trying to get around. But after that, I feel like I've been able to find and walk around campus very easily, so it's been going really well.
I enjoyed being in big lecture halls. That's something that's new for me, so that was a new experience, and I really enjoyed it because it's more of less focuses on you, and you can just focus on the information that's being presented to you.
My first week of school was super fun. It was very exciting to see college classes and to meet all the professors who are way more laid back than any teachers in high school ever, which was super exciting.
It's been pretty good so far. I've had some trouble finding my way around, so my best friend has been Google Maps generally, but after finding all my classes, everything's been going pretty well.
My classes, I got to all my classes on time. Didn't think I would.
Work isn't great. Chemistry sucks, in a nutshell. But other than that, having a great time.
And yeah, homework's not great, but I'm getting the hang of it.
So it's been going really well, and I'm really excited.
Along with classes starting, we're also excited for Hawkeye sports to be starting. Let's toss it over to Alexis and Natalie in the sports studio to find out more.
Thank you, Susanna. A former wrestler at the University of Iowa received sentencing yesterday for hacking into the school's grading system back in 2015.
Trevor Graves was given a 4-month prison with 2 years of suspended release. He was also ordered to pay $67,000 in restriction.
Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer was handed a 3-year game suspension for mishandling domestic abuse allegations.
And while many Buckeye fans are glad not to see Urban lose his job, sports fans elsewhere thought his punishment should be more severe.
Live in the newsroom with more is Lucy Rodine. Lucy, what kind of reactions have we seen here on campus?
Yeah, guys, on Wednesday, Ohio State University announced that head football coach Urban Meyer would be suspended for the first 3 games of the season following an allegation that he knew his assistant coach, Zach Smith, was abusing his wife. We went to campus to hear students' reaction on the 3-game suspension after it was originally thought Meyer would be terminated.
Coaches always preach accountability to their athletes, so this kind of puts the coach in the position of the athlete where they have to take responsibility and take accountability. So I actually think it's good for the future and good for their program.
Yeah, considering this serious thing that happened, I think 3 games isn't that much of a big deal, and considering who Urban Meyer is, I think they did take that in a matter like, oh, it's Urban Meyer, sweep it under the rug, whatever. And the fact that he did lie and say that he didn't know anything, I think is also bogus.
I think they definitely go easy on them compared to the players. Like Todd Gurley was suspended for more games for selling his jersey compared to Urban Meyer for covering up domestic abuse.
So as we just heard from students, they thought the punishment should be a little more severe, but a lesson can be learned. Be sure to stick with DITV as we'll release a special episode of Around the Big Ten where we'll go more in depth on Urban Meyer's scandal. Natalie, Alexis, back to you guys in the sports studio.
Lucy Rodine live in the newsroom, thank you. But we're just a little over a week from college football kickoff, and a lot of buzz has been surrounding Hawkeye football.
Especially the quarterback. Nate Stanley has been referred to as the top 10 quarterback in the country.
With more in DITV's Big Board studio is Bo Bowman.
With just 1 year under his belt, Iowa quarterback Nate Stanley is already attracting national attention. He's put on the Maxwell Award watch list given to the Player of the Year after throwing for 2,437 yards and 26 touchdowns, the second most in a single season at Iowa. He's been referred to as one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and he's got all the skills to back it up. Let's take a look at a couple plays from when Stanley picked apart the Ohio State defense last year. He's got great awareness. Here he is on 3rd and 5, looks at 2 other receivers before seeing Fant, his tight end, and gets the ball just across the yellow line for the first down. He also has the ability to read defenses before the ball is even snapped. Here he is on 1st down, fakes the play action, and knows right where Nick Easley is and delivers a perfect strike. Let's take another look at that. He sees that window right away and puts the ball right where it needs to be for a completion. That leads us to his accuracy. He's got Fant wide open on the dig route here, but that's a harder throw than it looks. He's got to get that ball over the top of that linebacker here, and he puts it in the one place the defense can't get it. So we could see quite the season from Stanley. He's still got some great targets in his receiving core and a lot of time to develop even further. I know we can't wait to see what he can do. Guys, back to you.
Stanley Hawkeyes will take on Northern Illinois in the home opener on September 1st.
And it should be a pretty good game. Vegas does have Iowa as the 10-point favorite. But that's all we have for you today in the sports studio. Today, come back next week for more football previews from Lucy and Bo.
Including looks at the defensive line and the linebacker. Suzanne at the desk, back to you.
Bebe the giant panda turns 3. Bebe is a giant panda at the Smithsonian National Zoo who was surprised with a birthday party on Wednesday. The party included an ice cake decorated with all of his favorite foods, animal enrichment, painting session, and a brand new toy. Bebe is now close to 215 pounds and was awake for the entire celebration. That's all we have for you on this Friday morning edition of DITV News. Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com. Have a great day, Iowa City.